As we come to the end of the year, another remembrance of our friend and colleague Gwen Ifill. She was a pioneer in several ways and particularly encouraging to young women journalists of color. Have a listen.
Dear Gwen.
Dear Gwen.
Dear Gwen.
Dear Gwen.
Thank you for telling me to know my name.
For the time that I showed up to your studio with straight hair, because everybody knows this isn't polished.
I think of just knowing myself and knowing my name and owning who I am, and it was so important that you told me that.
You gave me a look that was something like, and then you said, you know you don't have to do that here. That meant the world to me.
When you're young, you don't really think about how important it is to see people who are women or women of color in those positions.
You were a beacon for so many of us, women of color especially, who wanted so badly to see themselves reflected in the media.
I only saw older white guys on TV behind that anchor desk.
But there you were, a beacon of hope in a sea of white faces.
The fact that you were covering the White House, that meant something. That meant that I could go and pursue the career and become a journalist.
All of the young journalists of color, women particularly, we all look to you as an example.
I can remember when I interviewed for this job at NewsHour, and they asked me why I wanted to work here, and for me the answer was simple. It was you.
I remember at the Gridiron dinner a few years ago, you pulled me aside and said, "What are you covering now?" And I said, "Foreign policy." And your eyes lit up and you said, "Great, I need more people of color to come on the show and talk about foreign policy."
I just knew I had made it when I was on Washington Week with Gwen Ifill, because you knew the folks on Gwen Ifill, that Gwen, you respected them, and to have your respect in that moment on those shows, it was everything.
You, as successful as you were and as prominent, read my work and took the time to encourage me.
You saw me. You saw me for who I was, and you were proud of me.
I've admired you and Judy Woodruff for showing me that two female co-anchors could be a norm instead of the exception.
Now, if more than ever, we're at a place where we need journalists like us.
We owe you our gratitude.
So as I stand here with tears in my eyes, thinking of how much we've lost with your passing.
There will never be another Gwen Ifill. There will never be another you.
We will miss your journalism, all of us.
Dear Gwen, I am gonna really miss you, but I'm also gonna really try to make you proud.
By being a hand or a model for some other young woman who one day may see me or may see a woman who looks like me and like you and know that she can too.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Gwen.